It's another big night in the race for the Republican nomination on this primary day. Voting is underway right now in 4 states. On the GOP side, 150 delegates are up for grabs. 59 in Michigan, 40 in Mississippi, 32 in Idaho, and 19 in Hawaii. The first polls close in just under 3 hours from now in Mississippi. Donald Trump says he wants to take on Ted Cruz in a 2-man race. But is that such a good idea? According to the latest national poll by the Washington Post and ABC News, the GOP frontrunner falls short against Cruz and Marco Rubio in head-to-head matchups. Here's what the Republican rivals are saying on the campaign trail before tonight's election results.
Here in Florida, if you vote for John Kasich or Ted Cruz, you are voting for Donald Trump. I am the only one that can beat him in Florida. I am the only one that can stop him here.
We're focused here in Michigan today. We want to do as well as we can do here, and then we go to Ohio, and we're now getting on home turf. Brian, you understand this better than anybody. In March Madness, you want to play home games, and we're getting closer and closer to home games. So we'll take it a day at a time.
If you don't want to see Donald Trump as the nominee, and if you don't want to see Hillary Clinton as the president, which is the inevitable result of Donald Trump being the nominee, come join us. Let us stand together.
And I saw some polls yesterday in Michigan where I'm 19 and 20 points up. And I saw some very, very good polls. I'm still leading in Florida against a failed senator. You know, Rubio is a failed senator.
All right. Eric, tell us about the numbers for tonight and what needs to happen in terms of the math adding up, because we're hearing a lot of potential scenarios. And
so, again, I spent the day, I'm spending every day, you should see my desk, it's like papers and numbers spread out everywhere. And
bottle of rum.
A bottle of vodka in the back. Proportional delegates, 150. The 2 big ones, obviously, being Michigan and Mississippi. Michigan because of the delegate count, and Mississippi because if Donald Trump does win Mississippi, he'll kind of round out the whole South, with the only thing left in the South being Florida. So he would want to win that just to make the map look good. We could use a billboard for that. But interesting, though, by the numbers, the total vote count, kind of close. Donald Trump with 38% of all the votes. Ted Cruz with 31% of all the votes cast. Important because between the 2 of them, that's 69, almost 70% of all votes cast on the GOP side for either Trump or Ted Cruz. Again, looking forward to, if they go to a brokered convention, which it doesn't look like it is, in my opinion. If they do, that would be tough to not name one of those 2 your nominee.
That's a good point.
Total contests. There have been 20 total contests between states and territories. Trump has won 60% of them, 12 of them, and Cruz has won 30%. So between the 2 of them, they've not only won 70% of the vote, they've won 90% of the contest.
Wait. I love numbers. Are you making an argument for why there shouldn't be a brokered convention?
Let me just tell you why the total contest really matter more than the total votes. No one's talking about the total contest, but here's why. Going forward, after tonight, proportional, but after tonight, going forward, Florida, North Carolina, Illinois, Ohio, that's 306 delegates. New York, Pennsylvania, and California, 338 delegates. That means going forward, those are winner-take-all states. So if you're just getting 1 more vote than the second-place guy, you're getting all the votes. That's why total contests really matter. So, again, Trump comes in with 60% of total. Cruz with 30%.
Wait, your point is there shouldn't be a brokered convention.
There shouldn't be.
But you realize...
Because they're winning 70% of the popular vote and 90% of the contest.
But as we were going over yesterday, the rules are if you don't meet the delegate count you needed, that the rule says you can have a brokered convention.
You can, but it should go to one of those 2.
All right, Dan, I'm going to get your thoughts on this process, because it is, I mean, there's a tremendous amount right there with the 2 percentages between the 2, but take it to the next level.
Well, tonight are contests that are not winner-take-all, so it's proportional. So even if you win a certain state, you come out in first, but if whoever comes in second, if they've closed that gap, then you're proportional delegates. So we are not at a winner-take-all position yet. That will be next Tuesday, so everybody will want to tune in then. And Trump needs to win about 54% of all the remaining delegates. It's kind of an uphill climb, because if you look at what he's had so far, you don't get to 1237. Go ahead.
Yes, he does need to win the delegates, but going forward, because it becomes winner-take-all, you don't have to win 54% of the votes. You just have to win the 54% of the states going forward, and all you need is 1 more vote than the second place. There's why the total contests matter versus total votes. I'm sorry.
Dana.
Whoever it is has to get to 1237. If they don't get to 1237, there's a process by which there are delegates that are awarded. The thing that people aren't talking about yet is that state contests are about to happen to award those delegates. You actually, every state is different, but every state has people who decide to run in order to be a delegate. So those contests are going to happen starting about 10 days from now, like the first week of April. That's when the Michigan one happens. My only point is that 1237 is the magic number. When Mitt Romney got to 1244 in the contest, there wasn't any real competition left by that point, but they had a big celebration because they knew he would be the nominee. Short of that, they could not have had that celebration. So that's a reason to keep paying attention.
And Dana, one more question, if I can tag on to that to you, is today I was watching Larry Sabato earlier, and he said, tonight matters because we're going to see what happens with these, 4 states. But he called next Tuesday Titanic, not Super Tuesday, but Titanic Tuesday, or it's going to be like the Titanic, and somebody's going to go under after those results.
Well, possibly, and you narrow it down from there. But those two very important states, and not only for Titanic Tuesday, if that's what we're calling it, or for the general election, Ohio and Florida, 2 very key states for Republicans. No matter what, they really need to win them if they plan to win, and if they want to win in the general election. John Kasich is trying to make a case that he could win Ohio. Rubio or Cruz are saying that they could try to deny Trump that win in Florida. I think both of those things might be difficult, but we'll know a lot more tonight. Remember, in all the contests that we've had so far, the polling has been way higher than what the voting has actually come in at. So I'm not ready to call it yet. We don't even have election poll results until 6 p.m.
All right, there you go. We got some smart analysis at this table. Like, Greg,
now you're coming to me.
And this is why, stay with us, folks.
All right, I just want to
Greg's
apologize for that endless amount of boring statistics. Look, there are 19 delegates in Hawaii. This is important because 3 of them are McGarrett, Dano, and Chinho, and they matter to me. But Mississippi has 40 delegates. This is important because without Mississippi, how can you count when you play hide and seek?
Oh, my God. I'm glad I waited till 7 minutes in for that.
Yes, a vote for X is a vote for Y. We need to ban that. I'm tired of hearing that. A vote for Trump is a vote for Hillary. A vote for Rubio is a vote for Trump. A vote for Laverne is a vote for Shirley. A vote is a vote is a vote. The person you vote for is the person you vote for, and that's what you should do. You shouldn't say, I'm not going to vote for this person because it's going to allow this person to win. You should vote for the person that you want to vote for. I'm kind of tired of hearing that.
Okay, cool. Are you going to ban people that you hate those people? Yeah. Okay, well, too bad. I'm in charge. Okay, Juan, I like your color complimenting with mine. So what do you think about
the memo.
you got the memo about tonight, because they're all pointing fingers, dirty tricks, this and that, but tonight is a big night in terms of the results. We're going to have a much clearer picture, and as Eric was showing earlier, in terms of the percentages, you're pretty tight right now between Trump and Cruz.
Well, what interests me so much, Kimberly, is that I don't think Cruz is going to win anything tonight. I don't think he has much of a shot, and I don't think he thinks he has much of a shot to win anything tonight. So it looks to me like a big night for Trump. But then the question becomes, by what margin does Trump win? Because what we've seen in these polls, and the most recent polls, is they indicate that Trump's lead seems to be declining or shrinking at the moment. So what does that tell you? It tells you that all these ads being pushed by conservative establishment groups on the Republican side may be having some impact on Donald Trump. Now, if that's the case, boy, Eric, that shakes things up, because going forward...
Not at all.
Well, hey,
not at all.
Can I talk for a second?
Yeah,
I let you speak for so long.
Yeah, I'm listening. Go.
All right, so you have an opportunity here, I think, to find out whether or not the conservative establishment has identified real weaknesses in Trump that resonate with the base. And that's the question. We have now, going forward, states where, as you were pointing out, oftentimes it's limited to Republican voters, not anybody just jumping in. How do Republicans, real Republicans, react to these attacks on Trump coming from the Republican establishment?
Can I just talk about what tonight is the last time proportional matters, as Dana points out. Right. Proportional delegates will go. Well, okay, but going forward, I outlined 700 delegates over in 7 states going forward. That will be winner take all, where all the leader has to do is win by 1 vote. So that's why a narrowing lead isn't that important. Right. Again, here's the most important stat of all of them. In 2016 versus 2008, the last time there was a primary, an open primary, right, the Republicans have come out 65% higher turnout on the Republican side than 2008. 65%. Yeah. On the Democrat side, down 30%.
Wait a second, it's a different conversation. I'm glad to have it because it really doesn't make any difference. It hasn't made any difference in previous elections.
That whatever's going on the Republican side is bringing new people to the new Republicans to the table, new voters to the Republican table.
I think that's undeniable. Boy, Donald Trump is entertaining. He drives up ratings. Everybody loves to hear about him.
I said whatever's going on.
Well, I think Trump is what's going on. I don't think there's any question about that. But I'm just telling you, if you look historically in previous cycles, when you see one side, pouring out, especially when you have an incumbent president from the other side, it doesn't necessarily translate in terms of what happens in the general.
Okay, Greg.
The interesting thing, and it is true about how many angry new voters that are in this process, it implies that they weren't voting Republican in 2008 and 2012 when President Obama won. We could have used them. So when someone says they are angry and they're blaming, quote, the establishment, but incorporating all these conservatives that may have worked for the past 8 years to fight against Obama, why weren't you there? We welcome you, but you shouldn't enter this party and say it's your fault because we perhaps could have used you. Conservatism is not a restaurant that you can trash on Yelp. It's a group of people. It's a group of people that have worked against liberals for many, many years, that have been ideologically fairly pure, that have supported candidates that are less than perfect, but they were there. They were there, and that's important, and you can't forget that.
All right, not a